Alright, this is part 2. We got cut off. You know, Esau had to, take care of some business. But this is Revelation 1:16. It says, and he had in his hand, right hand, 7 stars, YAHAWASHI. And out his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword, and his countenance was as the sun that shineth in his strength.
Because YAHAWASHI, the scripture says in his mouth was a 2-edged sword, meaning his mouth, his words were so sharp that you couldn't touch him. You know, picture it like a samurai with a 2-edged sword. He just so smooth with the sword. You know, like in Star Wars, the Jedi sword with the two, you know. It's hard to cut a person like that. It's hard to cut a person with a 2-edged sword, you know. But at the same time, these scriptures, it's difficult. I mean, you have to practice, continue reading. You have to keep on reading, because you can cut yourself with a 2-edged sword, you know. So, like even us, we got this 2-edged sword, you know. This is part of it, but you know, KJV 1611 KJV Bible, and that's exactly which when you read in the scriptures, John chapter 1 verse 14, it says that the Word became flesh. You know, YAHAWASHI was the Word. He ultimately had knowledge of the scriptures. Yeah. You know, he knew it by heart, the whole book, basically.
And this is Psalms 12:6. It says, the words of the Lord, this is all cash, Yahweh.
And because of that, he could not be confounded. He could not be cut, because he had that 2-edged sword. You know, the scriptures say in go ahead,
it says, the Psalm 12:6, it says, the words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in the furnace of the earth, purified 7 times. So, like it says, what's that scripture where Yahweh is he was come down here and man should become dust. Same with this word. If you ain't clean, you're gonna become like dust, and you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get crumbled. And it's always gonna be like that, because the truth is unwavering, it doesn't change, it's unmovable, it's pure, it's too pure, it's so good. You gotta be good and clean.
Yeah.
Well,
you gotta be sincere
to receive this word. I don't say good and clean, because we all filthy rags. But your spirit gotta be yearning for his righteousness to receive his word, because they pure words. They're good. You know what I'm saying? It's purely righteous. It's perfect. Everything the Lord made was perfect. It say that in the book of Sirach.
And you know, and really only the elect is gonna receive it, because you know the scriptures say, my sheep hear my voice. And to hear the words, to hear the Lord's voice, it's not about just having ears, like regular ears. You got to have that spiritual ear to hear it, to understand it, you know, to you know, embody it.
This is Psalms 119 and 140. It says, thy word is very poor, therefore thy servant loveth it. So that's why these scriptures is always always brought out in these videos constantly, every day, every hour of the day, and it never get old, because we love it. You know, it's true love right here. With this worldly music, you really don't love that music, because you get tired of it, like after it ain't no edification. But this whole embodiment of the scriptures, it's so many different ways, it's infinite.
Yeah. I was gonna add, not to cut you off, brother.
It's all good.
But I heard a saying when I was in the world: the only thing constant is the truth. You know, and that's one of the reasons why this truth the scriptures mention this truth as being living waters. Out of your mouth shall flow living waters. And
YAHAWASHI was the sound of many waters, and it's that confidence in the truth. Because YAHAWASHI believed, he knew he knew where he was coming from. He knew where he was going. Throughout the whole 4 gospels about him, he knew where he was coming from and he knew where he was going. And that's how, once he got, not got, but knowing that his life was established and what he had to do, that's when he was, not when he was able, because when he was 12, that's when he became an adult, but that's when he went out to the world, started his ministry, when everything's established with himself, and then therefore he gathered the 12, he gathered everybody, he gathered all things needed to fulfill the will of the Father. Cause it was like, oh, I don't know if I'm sent from the Father, let me go out and try and see. Cause you going out there half-heartedly, but nah, YAHAWASHI went in fully knowing what he's capable of and what he set out to do here.
Yeah.
And that's why, even the scribes and Pharisees, he cut him. He cut him because he spoke with such authority, to the point where they thought he was a devil. They thought he was blaspheming the Most High. But nah, he is purely in his spirit, which is that sternness, that testosterone, being a man. Let me get the scripture where Paul said, when I was a child.
Yeah, because he became one with the scriptures, and because of that, like, there was really only one person that can do that, to become one with the scriptures, to learn these scriptures at a rapid pace. He was learning the scriptures at such of a rapid pace. By the time he was 12, he was teaching the priest when he was young. Well, he was even teaching the priests that were in the temple. And that goes to show that, like, that he was. That's more than convincing that he had to been the Messiah. And by the time he was 30, come on, man, like, when he was 12, he was teaching the scribes. So when he was 30, you can only imagine that he had it all up there. He knew what had to be done, and he knew what was going to come next, and what was going to come next was prophecy was going to come next,
And that's why he said, because of your unbelief, he wasn't able to do this. Because of your unbelief, because that's just how strong YAHAWASHI was in believing, and that's the power of belief. They show you in that movie Glass, where they lost their superpowers because they stopped believing. Because the Edomite devil bitch, she convinced them by lying that everything was down to a scientific explanation of what where their powers came from. So 2 out of the 3 stopped believing. Elijah ain't stopped believing because he was smarter than her. He outsmarted everybody because that's why I say knowledge and wisdom should be the stability of thy times.
Yeah.
So, but the beast and what's his name, David, the super dude with the super strength, they lost belief, and that's why Elijah spoke it back into him. He was like, you can knock down these doors with the metal to save humanity.
Slock. Not Elijah in the scriptures, but the character Elijah in the movie.
Yeah.
Which his name was Glass.
Yeah, Mr. Glass. Yeah, Mr. Glass. But yeah, he was like, you gotta believe that you can knock down these metal doors. Then what happened eventually? He was beating on the door. It wasn't moving at first, but then once that one piece of metal got dented in, that's when his belief took off. It soared through the roof. Yeah. So that's how the hopeful elect men, the 144,000, when the Lord, when you see that belief, that faith kicking in, that wax stronger than confidence. So the more we in His Word, the more we gonna wax stronger in the confidence and the boldness of His Word.
Yeah.
And it's alive. You see it out here.
Hey, the scriptures say the flesh profiteth nothing, but the Spirit quickeneth.
Right.
And you know what's so crazy about that movie? That woman that was trying to deceive them, she knew that they were superheroes. She knew that they had supernatural power, and her job was to discourage them, was to inject that spirit of discouragement into them, so they could be so they could not believe, henceforth not becoming weak and not performing those spiritual acts, you know, which that story is really facts, you know, because YAHAWASHI, when YAHAWASHI even said, he said, don't you know that it is written in your law that ye are gods? You know, you could look that scripture up, but
it's that old saying, you believe you can achieve. It's cliche, but most people, you know, including ourselves at times, just don't have that belief, you know, to put off that weight, to go out there and run, to go out there and accomplish your goal. Keep trying. You gotta just keep trying over and over again. Like how that man David was beating against the door, but eventually you're gonna break through if you believe hard enough, because Yahweh is good, and He's gonna make sure that, you know, if it's righteous, that it'll be given unto you in due time. Again,
not David in the scriptures, but David, the character in the movie.
Right. So this is 1 Corinthians. I'm starting at this chapter 13, verse 8. It said, "Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part." So we don't know what the kingdom is exactly. You know, we don't know the details down to, you know, the exact molecule of things, but we know enough. It said, "But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass, Mr. Glass, darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. And now abideth in faith, hope, charity, these three. But the greatest of these is charity, and charity is love." So yeah, that's what that character, Mr. Glass, in the movie Glass, embodied. He had faith and hope that his plan of 19 years was going to be accomplished. Now, you know, I'm not gonna go into the details of the movie, how he went about those plans, because it was wicked. But nevertheless, he had faith and hope that it was true, and eventually he got it accomplished. So everybody that believed in that movie did what they had to do, and that's gonna turn to reality. All the elect that believe that, you know, we are the elect, and believe that we doing the Lord's will, you know, we believe that's gonna come to pass. The truth is gonna tell it all.
That's right.
Whether we be the truth, or, you know, whether the truth not be found out. Yeah. I'd rather believe than not to believe. So with that, you know, if brother don't have any other scriptures, you gonna say shalom.
Hey, shalom. And we want to give pieces. We want to give shalom, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Give honor to our apostles of Great Millstone, the true elders of Israel, who still rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing this truth and sincerity. And also to you women and children that's continuing to endure. All right, just keep on believing. You know, YAHAWASHI, you know, the scriptures say your redemption is
Jaw of nigh.
Jaw of nigh. Specifically, it says
nearer than what you believe.
Nearer than what you. Can we get that scripture?
Oh yeah, I just put away my scripture. All right.
We get it. You know, just a quick encouragement scripture to end it off. Nearer than ye believe. Okay, this is Romans. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Okay, so, you know,
it's lucky. That's all you got, right? In these times, the Lord is waking people out of sleep quick. And how do you usually do that worldly? You dump a bucket of water on them.
That's it.
They wake up. So this truth is like dumping a bucket of water.
Yeah.
You know, the word, it cleanse you out, and then, you know what I'm saying, you up, you move, you know, your
start throwing up that water, flowing.
Your cognitive senses is alert now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And all you can do is just wax stronger in His faith. And the more you wax stronger in His faith, the stronger you get.
Yep.
And that's what the Lord is all about, getting that one lost sheep out of the 99 to return so the Lord and the angels rejoice, and overall is you doing the ways you glorify the Father in that. So with that,
so I just want one more thing I want to say. So keep on enduring. It's either you're gonna wax worse or you're gonna wax greater. You're gonna wax stronger. So with that being said, put your best foot forward in this truth and just keep on pushing. If you got anything else you want to say?
that's it. All
right, shalom.
Shalom.